TGIF. We are on a nice 9-1 run. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back with a full 15-game slate in the MLB. Also, it's my son's birthday. He turned 4, just had his birthday party with everyone, had a lot of fun. But either way, the years are flying by, that's for sure. But yesterday, 1-1 day, which means we're now 9-1 in our last 10. We'll go over that recap in just a little bit. Quick reminder, though, website is live, justabetoutside.com. A lot of you guys have already signed up, but you know what? You can come join the community. It's completely free. Post bets. You have one click of a button, and you're already tailing someone's bet. A lot of cool things in there. Also, if you want to use the premium tools, use that promo code JABOLAUNCH to get 1 free month. And if you guys want to know all the tools it has to offer, be sure to go check out that 10-minute video tutorial on our YouTube page now. It's pretty awesome. I love using this every single day. So just want to let you guys know. But of course, any graphics you see are also from OUTLIER. It's the best betting research tool on the market. I use this every single day. Click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. All right, let's get into it. I got an MLB fun fact, and this is wild to me. R.A. Dickey, you guys might remember him. He won the NL Cy Young Award in 2012. He was a knuckleball pitcher. He did it without throwing a single pitch all season, over 87 miles an hour. That is wild. Anyways, in this video, we're going to recap that 1-on-1 day yesterday, and then go over the good and bad hitter matchups, the best pitcher strikeout matchups, and then, of course, the full 15-game pitcher report, and we end it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community as we hope to get on a nice hot streak here, or at least continue this hot streak in the MLB with NFL right around the corner as well. But let's get this party started, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. The quick 2-game recap. We finally lost. The 8-bet streak is over, under 4.5 in the Padres Cardinals in the first 5. I had my kid's birthday party. I didn't see it, but when I checked the score, there was a bazillion runs. Just a horrendous read. Looked like Sonny Gray was awful. Darvish was awful. 100 degrees, and everybody hit. So that was a loss. And then Eric Lauer, 4.5 Ks. He had 0 through 2 or 3 innings. It looked bleak. But he kept getting some quick innings, and he went deep into the game and got his 5th one, I think, in the 7th, maybe 8th inning, or 5th and 6th. He absolutely clutched up for us. So we will take it 1-on-1 day on just an ugly 5-game slate. You just take that even day and move on. There's the overall record as, like I said, 9-1 in the last 10. Hopefully we can carry that momentum into the weekend. But that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk the hitter matchups. All right, we got a ton of good hitter matchups for you today. This is just page 1, and we got to start out with the man, Aaron Judge, right there in the middle on the left. 4 for 13. Every single one of his hits against Taijuan Walker have been for bombs. That's right, absolute Jimmy Jacks. Giancarlo Stanton, his teammate, 4 for 12 with a home run off Taijuan Walker. You see up there at the top, Jazz Chisholm, 7 for 15 off Taijuan Walker. So we got some success in this Yankees lineup, that's for sure. But anyways, you got Iglesias, 6 for 12, pretty impressive. Then over there on the right side, a lot of 4 for 9s. Julio Rodriguez, Shohei Ohtani is 4 for 8 against Brian Bayo. So on and so on. So take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. Now let's look at page 2. Seiya Suzuki starts us out with 4 for 8, and then we go all the way down to Freddie Furman, which I'm sure you guys are excited to bet. We got Adolis Garcia on there as well, and then Trent Grisham, another Yankee, 3 for 7 off of Taijuan Walker as well. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. Brandon Nimmo leads us off at 1 for 17 with 5 Ks off of Logan Webb. And then you see Pete Alonso, 2 for 16 with 6 Ks off Webb as well. Obviously, he's a good pitcher. And then we go over there to the right side. Dansby Swanson, 2 for 13. All the way down to the bottom, Luke Raley for the Mariners, 0 for 10 with 3 Ks off Soriano. You also got Matt Olson, Michael Garcia, and Nico Horner as well. So that's what we got for the good and bad hitter matchups for you today. Now let's talk some Ks. We got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you today. And if you're new to the channel, we do this every day. And what I like to do is take high strikeout pitchers against teams that have struck out versus righty or lefty, whatever that pitcher is, quite a bit in the last 3 weeks. So the first one, Nathan Eovaldi versus the Braves. Atlanta, 6th highest K rate versus righties in the last 3 weeks, 24.3%. Eovaldi, 94 Ks in 91 innings. And we just saw him get stretched out to 102 pitches in his last start. He has 6 and 8 Ks now in his last 2 starts. His first game back against the Mariners, it was on a pitch count, didn't look great, but now he's starting to look like himself again. He does have a barely a higher K rate versus righties, 27.5%, 26.5 to lefties. You see the home road splits. He is also better there at home in Texas. Second one, Brian Wu of my Seattle Mariners against the Angels. Angels ninth highest K rate versus righties in the last 3 weeks, 22.2%. Wu 115 Ks in 120.1 innings. He has 6+ strikeouts in 5 of his last 6 starts. And actually, he has 8 or more strikeouts in 3 of those. So he's been pretty impressive and consistent. Very similar K rate on the road, 24.5 compared to 23.9 at home. So nothing big there. And he does have a higher K rate versus righties. And the Angels have a lot of righties in that lineup, 28.6% compared to 20.2% against lefties. So that's what we got for the pitcher Ks. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 8 matchups of the day, and if you're new to the channel, we do this every single day. Try to give you every pitcher matchup that we have for that day. We got expected ERA, WHIP, K rate, walk rate, hits per 9, home runs, everything you need, and all the averages are on the bottom, so you guys have an idea, what's good, what's bad. But we start out Cal Quantrill versus fastball Freddie Peralta. Quantrill giving up 2+ earned runs in 8 straight, but did just throw a 6-inning shutout last start versus the Royals. And then Freddie Peralta coming off his worst start of the year, actually, with 4 earned runs allowed is at the Dodgers. But keep in mind, just 2 weeks prior to that, he shut out the Dodgers as well. It's always tough to see a team twice. But he's had a great season, obviously. 2.85 ERA, just looking really good. Ryan Nelson versus Burroughs. Nelson, been pretty good this season. He's given up just 1 earned run or less in 8 of his 11 starts. I don't even think people realize that. He's been that good. And then Burroughs, been meh, I guess. Struggling with his command lately, though. 9 walks in his last 11.1 innings. And then we got Kyle Freeland versus Dean Kramer. The lefty Freeland giving up 3+ earned runs in 4 of his last 5 road starts. Kramer, he has improved this season, not gonna lie, but he's now given up 1 or less earned run in 5 of his last 6, giving up exactly 3 hits in 3 of his last 4 also. So I mean, he is just a new pitcher because he wasn't like this last year. And then Taijuan Walker against Will Warren. Walker threw the most pitches last start as they build him up. He had 70. In his last 2 starts, he went 4 innings in each of them and gave up 11 hits and 4 earned runs. And then Will Warren's a guy who's been all over the place. Last 5 starts, here's his earned runs allowed: 0, 8, 0, 2, and 5. So, I mean, he's had games where he's looked really good, and then he's had some games where he hasn't. A lot of it's his command. It's shaky. He has 16 walks now in his last 23.2 innings. And then Ed Sheeran versus Brian Bayo. Sheeran, he's had 3 decent starts, then got lit up for 7 hits and 5 earned runs in just 3 innings in his last start. That was against Milwaukee, though. And then Brian Bayo, been surprisingly decent this year, actually, giving up 3 or less earned runs in 16 of 17 starts. So he's given the Red Sox a chance to win every time he steps on the mound. I don't know how long he can hold it, but, it's been pretty decent expected ERA as well. And then Zach Littell versus Nick Martinez. Littell, it's been another solid year for him. Great command. As always, 3.5% walk rate. He's now gone 6+ innings in 8 of his last 10 starts. And then Nick Martinez struggling in July with an ERA over 7. I will say a lot of that is due to a 10 earned run start that he had against the Marlins. Still counts, but it was one terrible game. And then Jose Barrios versus Kiter Montero. Barrios giving up 4+ earned runs now in 3 of his last 4. Has not been pretty. Giving up 8 hits and 2 earned runs in 6 innings versus the Tigers earlier this season. And then Montero struggled his last 2 starts around the All-Star break, giving up 7 earned runs in 7.1 innings. And then Nick Pivetta versus Miles Mikolas. Pivetta, he's been awesome this season. He's given up just 2 earned runs in his last 31.1 innings. And then Mikolas, Ron Burgundy. When he has that mustache, he looks like Ron Burgundy. But anyways, he's struggling mightily, giving up 5+ earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. So that's what we got for page 1. Now let's check out page 2, and we start out with Shota Imanaga versus Adrian Hauser. Imanaga, solid as usual. In his 5 starts since the IL, he's given up 6 earned runs in 30.1 innings with just 3 walks. So really good command right now. And then Adrian Hauser, he's been a guy who I don't even know how I can see a 1.89 ERA next to the name Adrian Hauser, but it's happening. But he is coming off his worst start with 10 hits allowed at Pittsburgh, but still gave up just 3 earned runs in that one, even though he gave up 10 hits. So he has now given up 3 or less earned runs in all 10 starts. Joey Wentz, the lefty, against Nathan Eovaldi. Wentz got stretched out to still 59 pitches, so still pretty low in his last start. So he's not going to go deep in the game, but he has pitched 7 straight scoreless innings for what it's worth. I don't think he's a great pitcher, but just wanted to point that out. Nathan Eovaldi is a great pitcher, Cy Young candidate for a reason. He has given up just 1 earned run in his last 18.2 innings. He is fully back. He has a 1.5 ERA, a 4% walk rate with a 26.8% K rate. This man is solid. And then Gavin Williams versus Michael Wacha. Williams been decent this year, coming off his best start, 1 earned run and 11 strikeouts in 7 innings versus the A's. Against Waka, after a rough stretch he's been solid the last 2 starts, giving up just 5 total hits and 2 earned runs over 11 innings. And then we got the lefty Jeffrey Springs. He's starting to pitch really well. And then last start, he got hit up for 9 hits and 5 earned runs at Cleveland. He now has 8 earned runs allowed in his last 10.2 innings. He's going up against TBD. Heck of an arm there for Houston. And then lefty, Mackenzie Gore versus Zebby Matthews. Gore got crushed in his last start. If you guys remember, 8 earned runs and 8 hits in only 2.1 innings he lasted against the Padres. Ks have gone down a little bit lately as well. He's a guy that was in near the mid-30s, and now he's down to 29.8. Not saying he's bad or anything, but it has gone down. Zebby Matthews is an interesting pitcher. He's a youngster, but he's got good swing and miss stuff. You see a 30. He's got the same K rate as Mackenzie Gore, but he's giving up a ton of hits, 11 hits per 9 innings as well. And then we got Brian Wu versus Soriano. Brian Wu coming off his worst start, giving up 6 hits and 4 earned runs versus the Astros. Other than that, you guys know he's been pretty lights out this year. And then Jose Soriano. The reason I lost a bet in his last start, coming off a historic start where he tied Greg Maddux for the most ground ball outs with 19. 19. This man has an insane 71.3% ground ball rate. It is the best in the league, and I don't even think it's that close. And then Clay Holmes versus Logan Webb. Holmes, I was thinking Grant Holmes. Anyways, it is Clay Holmes. He hasn't been sharp lately. 5.66 ERA in July with a 1.4 whip and an insanely low. This is what I don't think people know right now and what Clay Holmes is doing. He has a 12.5% K rate. That is extremely low in the month of July. So, again, he's not a guy who's pitched a lot. He's being converted from a reliever. Maybe he's hitting an innings max or people are catching up to him, whatever it is. Still pitching okay, but his K rate's way down. Going up against Logan Webb, we all know he's a stud, but he has been giving up a lot of hits lately. In his last 6 starts, 44 hits allowed in 37.1 innings. Also in his last 2 starts, how about 10 earned runs allowed? So that's what we got for all 15 matchups and all the research help. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Texas where the Rangers host the Atlanta Braves. Rangers on the money line, -175. Braves money line, +143 with a total of 8 runs. In this one, I'm going at a little bit of an alt game line. You can get it on DraftKings. Rangers -1, -127 on DraftKings. This is a 1-unit play for me here. If you can only get -1.5, I'd probably go a half unit on it and possibly still a unit. I just think they win here decently comfortably. But again, it's all about this starting pitcher matchup. Joey Wentz versus Nathan Eovaldi. We talked about it in the pitcher report. Wentz, he'll probably go 3 to 4 innings more than likely. He's a guy who the Braves picked up not too long ago. He's not a good pitcher. He's looked okay in the last 2 over 7 innings. There's a reason he got let go. We've seen him in the past. He's just not a great starter. He was a bullpen guy earlier this year. 19% K rate, almost a 12% walk rate. Like I said, decent in the last 2 short outings, but he's also a guy who just recently gave up 11 earned runs in a 5-inning stretch as well over 3 different bullpen appearances. Low ground ball rate, low swinging strike rate, struggles versus righties, 290 average, and a huge 5.43 xFIP versus righties. And then we go to Nate the Great Eovaldi, one of the best starting pitchers in the league, dominant versus both righties and lefties, 2.14 ERA at home, 2.05 average against. The crazy part for Nathan Eovaldi, he has a 1.02 ERA the 3rd time through an order. It doesn't matter how many times you see him, he's still going to dominate you. Incredible 29.2% K rate with a 5.4% walk rate at home. And then we talk offenses. Braves will be without Austin Riley. He's on the IL, obviously. This lineup's already weak. It's not very deep. That bottom half of the lineup is not good. Possibly losing Ozuna before this game. You never know. That's not why you take this bet. But the Atlanta Braves seem to be sellers, and Ozuna is in a lot of trade talks right now, and maybe even other guys as well. So, again, we already have a top-heavy lineup without Austin Riley. And then we go to the Rangers. I've told you they've been swinging the bats a lot better in the last 3 weeks. Face some tough lefties with Skubal and Framber and all that. That has nothing to do with Joey Wentz because it's way different. But they did score 4 off Kikuchi, 5 off Jacob Lopez, 3 off Falter, 3 off Bubic. And again, it's Joey Wentz swinging a better bat lately. And then bullpens both fully rested. I'd probably lean Rangers, though, here in the bullpen. I don't trust this Braves bullpen. I haven't really all season. And then the final note, Rangers 7-2-1 to the -1 line in their last 10 games. That's right. So in their last 10, they have covered this one-run line in 7 of those 10 with 1 push as well. Texas has covered this in 4 of Eovaldi's last 5 starts as well. The Braves, how about 18-31 on the road? They are sellers. They're not a very good team right now. It's just been a terrible nightmare season for them. Give me the better team, the much better starting pitcher, and the home team here. Rangers -1 is my first best bet. All right, it's time for that alternate team total parlay. I got 3 legs, -126 on DraftKings. This is a 1-unit play for me here as well. Getting a little aggressive right now, but give me the Brewers team total over 2.5, Yanks team total over 2.5, and the Dodgers team total over 2.5. That's right, 3 teams, 3 runs. Let's start with the Brewers. This is a red hot offense. Scored 3+ runs in 16 of their last 20, 3+ runs in 17 of their last 20 home games, and 3+ runs in 17 of the last 20 games versus a righty starter. Now, overall versus righties in the last 20 games, how about averaging 5.85 runs per game? This offense crushing it. Top 10 in batting average, on-base percentage in the last 3 weeks. Top 10 in runs scored last 3 weeks versus righties. Facing Cal Quantrill, doesn't miss many bats. We've talked about that. But he's also a guy, he struggles when he gets out of Miami. How about a 6.20 ERA, 281 average against, just a 17.7% K rate on the road, and he doesn't go very deep into games. Behind him, it's just not a very good Marlins bullpen as well. Brewers should not have a problem scoring 3+ runs here, in my opinion. Yankees team total over 2.5. They scored 3+ runs in 9 of the last 10 games versus a righty. How about 3+ runs in 19 of their last 20 games versus a righty, averaging around 6 runs per game in that span. This is a hot offense. You guys know it. In the last 3 weeks versus righties, 3rd highest WRC plus, 2nd highest slugging. This team crushes right-handed pitching, and now they face a bad righty in Taijuan Walker. You saw it earlier. Aaron Judge, Jazz Chisholm, Paul Goldschmidt, and Giancarlo Stanton are combined 20 for 53 with 6 bombs off Taijuan Walker, 377 average. He's not a very good starting pitcher. Just 2 starts of 60+ pitches as they try to stretch him out a little bit. He's given up 11 hits and 4 earned runs in those 8 innings. I expect the Yankees to easily score 3+ runs here at home. The last one, Dodgers team total over 2.5. Now, this one, might worry you a little bit more. It's crazy. This team is somehow just broken right now, but they've scored 3+ runs still in 7 of the last 10, 3+ runs in 6 of the last 10 road games. It's okay, but they faced some tough pitching in 3 of those. I mean, we're talking Miz and that. They were under in all 3 games against the Milwaukee Brewers. 3+ runs in 14 of the last 20 versus a righty starter. This offense hasn't been humming as much as the first 2 teams we mentioned, but they can still score in bunches, and now they face Brian Bayo. I'm not really a believer in him, even though he's pitched well. Kudos to him. He's pitched better this year, but still doesn't miss a lot of bats. The underlying numbers don't say he's just dominating or anything. Still giving up 2+ earned runs in 4 of his last 5. Again, Bayo could go 5 innings, 2 runs, and we're already 2/3 of the way there. I know, hash brown math. I just need 3 runs. So he struggles a bit more versus lefties. Also, you're going to see some lefties in this lineup. A guy named Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Edmund, guys like that. 4.59 xFIP this season versus lefties. Boston bullpen, nothing to really worry about. We have 90 degrees at Fenway Park. I mean, this is going to be a hitter's atmosphere here with 9 guaranteed at-bats as the road team. I like LA to score 3+ runs. So give me 3 teams to score 3+ runs as my second best bet. All right, this third one takes us out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Brew Crew hosts the Miami Marlins. Brewers -240 on the money line. Marlins +192 on the money line with a total of 8 runs. I got a player prop. It's pitcher prop. We are 7-1. No, sorry, take that back. 8-1 after Eric Lauer on pitcher props in the last 9. Let's stay hot. But this is an ugly one. Freddie Peralta under 6.5 Ks at -135 on Bet365. Half unit play for me here. -135, obviously a little juicy, but I think this should be 5.5, honestly. So if you want to know, by the way, what my opinion on the least favorite bet to watch and root for is, it's an under Ks prop. Every single time a guy gets 2 strikes, every single time an ump makes a bad call, you're stressing out. It's not fun, but hopefully we can get a winner. Now, let's talk Peralta first. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, he's already under this line in 14 of 21 starts this year. So we got a good hit rate there at 20% or 70%. That was bad math. He's only had more than 7 Ks in 4 of the 21 starts. So we're talking about a guy who just doesn't have those 9, 10, 11 blow-up games. 9, 10, 11 K type blow-up games. He's a guy who gets his pitch count up early. If you haven't watched him, he's been a little bit better lately, but he's a guy who's lasted 5 innings a ton because he likes to nibble the corners. He throws a lot of balls, goes 2-2, 3-2 on a lot of batters. Now, when he faces lower K teams, he rarely goes over this line. Under versus the Mets, the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Padres, and those are 4 of the last 10. And now let's talk about this matchup. If you don't know already, the Miami Marlins, the 4th lowest K rate versus righties in the last 3 weeks, just 17.6%. They just flat out do not strike out much. Out of the last 15 righties to face the Miami Marlins, 12 of those 15 have gone under this line. That is absolutely impressive. In fact, 6 straight have gone under this line. Festa, Kramer, and Woodruff were the only 3 of the 15 righties. Woodruff obviously had a couple big games coming out of the break. Festa's got some swing and miss stuff. Kramer's looked good this year. It is what it is, but 3 of 15. Some of the other righties to go over, Dylan Cease. He has a high K rate, guys. 5. Michael Walker, 1. Lugo, 5. Joe Ryan, 4 Ks. Peralta's K rate is lower versus lefties too at 22.4%. I'm expecting about 4 to 5 lefties. You're going to see 3 just of the top 4 in the lineup, lefty hitters as well. With Peralta's ceiling being around 7, I just think this line is a little too high. I would not be surprised if it ends at 5.5 by first pitch. So give me Freddie under 6.5 Ks. That is my third and final best bet. Of course, any added plays I have will be in the pinned comments below with that link to our website, which is live now, just to betoutside.com. So go check it out. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My 3 best bets so far. Give me the Rangers -1 on the alt line, -127 for 1 unit. Alternate team total parlay, Brewers over 2.5, Yanks over 2.5, and Dodgers over 2.5 for a unit. And then Freddie Peralta under 6.5 Ks, -135 on Bet365. That is a half unit play. Thank you guys for watching. As always, really appreciate the support this week. As you guys know, no videos on the weekends, but I still post bets. I am a little busy on Friday night, so it might be till Saturday morning where I post the Saturday bets, but they'll be on the post tab on my YouTube page. And of course, they'll be on the website so you can check them out as well as X. But thank you for watching. Hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.